still doing 2.4 linear functions, and we're talking about standard form. So standard form of a linear function looks like this or like this. It depends on the internet, okay? So if I look at this, it has my x value, my y value, and then some constant term on this. I call it standard form, okay? So when I have it in standard form, it's really good at finding the x and y intercepts quickly. So if you see something in standard form and you have to graph it, use the x-y intercept method, okay? So here it says graph the equation and give the domain and range. Immediately I see, this is in standard form, so I can use my x and y intercept to graph it. So I just go let y equals 0. So it's always opposite. If I want my x-intercept, I use y equals 0. And if I want my y-intercept, I use x equals 0. So I put the 0 in and solve. I put the x in and solve for y. Oh, it goes through 0, 0. And because I only got 1 point, I can't use it. I have to find another point. Because if I can't graph a line using 1 point. So what I'm just going to do is pick any number, Halliwelly, doesn't matter. I said let x equals 5. I put in the 5 for x, I solved it and I got 4, so I got another point. So if you ever end up having the same point, like 0, 0, because it goes through the origin, just choose another one and then graph it. So here we have a straight line, a line. It's not horizontal, it's not vertical. So you know the domain and range are both negative infinity to infinity because this goes forever and ever. So you'll always use all the x values on this side. You'll use the x values on this side. You'll use all the y's because it just keeps going and going and it keeps going and going. So it'll use all the negative y values. So the domain and range of a straight line, it's not horizontal or vertical, will always be negative infinity to infinity. Here's another one. So I see that it's in standard form. So if I want to graph it, I'm going to just go opposite. Let y equals 0, x equals 0. Solve for x. So this should be a y. I made a mistake. I'll put a star to fix that. Okay, so now I have 2 points. I plot the points and join it. And I can see that it's a line. It's not horizontal. It's not vertical. So I know my domain and range are both negative infinity to infinity. Let's do a couple examples. Let's not do the first one. I didn't like that one. I have to change it. So because it's in standard form, I'm just going to do my x and y intercepts. Let y equals 0. I copy down my equation. I put it 0 at x, but I use brackets. Wherever x is, I'm going to put a 0. Wherever the y is, I'll put brackets. Oops, not like that. So the y was here. Now I put a 0 where the y is. Now I solve for y. So that's 0. I have to get rid of the 3, so I'm going to do same over same. That's 1y, but you don't have to write the 1. So y equals 4. So if x is 0, y is 4, negative 4, xy. So let's graph that. 0, negative 4. Now we solve for x. So 3 times 0 is 0. Oops, I forgot my equal sign. I'm going to get rid of the 2, do same over same. That's 1. So 1x equals 6. So now if y is 0, x is 6. So if x is 6, y is 0. So that's my x-intercept because it intercepts the x-axis, and that's my y intercept because it touches at the y, on the y, touches the y-axis. So there is my line. Now it's a straight line. It's not horizontal, it's not vertical, so I know my domain and range are both this. The domain is this and the range, because it goes forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? Let's do one more. So I have to graph it and give the domain and range. So let x equal 0, let y equal 0. Copy down. Wherever the x is, I'm going to put brackets. And I'm going to put the 0 in wherever the x was. Now here, it's wherever the y is. I'll put brackets. And the y is going to have a 0. So now we're going to solve. 4 times 0 is 0. So I have to get rid of my 5. I do same over same. That's 1. So y equals 4. So now if x is 0, y is 4. X is 0, y is 4. So there is the y-intercept. So now that's 0. So get rid of the 4. X is equal to 5. So if x is 5, y is 0. So x is 5, y is, oops, not there. It's 3. There. So there's my line. So now I have to give my domain and range. Well, it's a straight line. It's not horizontal. It's not vertical. So I know my domain and range are both negative infinity to infinity, because that keeps going on forever and ever and ever. And I'm going to use all my x and all my y values.